Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. And today I want to take you through a simple exercise that actually can be very impactful. When I went through this exercise for the first time a couple of years ago, it was super impactful for me to the point where I try to live by it every single day. And that exercise is choosing and picking your word for the year. So a single word that has meaning in your life, something that you can then move forward with as you go throughout your day-to-day activities. So let me explain a little bit further and how I've used this exercise to impact my life. So this was back, let's say, I think it was December of 2021. I was in a conference, a business mastermind is what it was. And the presenter was giving us this very same exercise, choosing a word that resonated with you that you could then carry into the following year as almost like a reminder, something that would keep you on point, on task towards a specific goal, towards a specific outcome that you were looking for, just something that would help you stay focused, stay present, keep working towards the bigger vision. And as an example for myself, the word that I picked back then was plant. And I know that might sound a little funny, and I'll explain to you why I chose the word plant. But that was my word. So the entire year last year, so all of 2022, everything I did, all the activities that I was involved in, every interaction that I engaged in, I had the word plant running through my mind. Now, the word plant to me meant to basically give. I wanted to give as much of myself as I possibly could to as many people as I possibly could without necessarily wanting or needing anything in return. So it's the whole concept of you reap what you sow. And so I was trying to plant as much as I could of myself into others, into relationships. I doubled down on the people that I was meeting. Every chance I had, I was asking how I could help them without ever asking for anything in return. And I spent the entire year doing that. Now, I will tell you that I've continued that here into 2023, and I actually have chosen a new word for this year. So I encourage you to start the process. I know I mentioned that this was more of a beginning of the year exercise, but I think it could be super powerful today if you chose to do it now. Think about a word. It can be, I know, similar words that other people have chosen. You can choose something like intentional or focused or loving. As I mentioned, I chose the word plant. You can choose the word growth. And it really goes on and on and on from there. It's really whatever resonates with you, where you are currently in your journey, where you're looking to add some different focus, some things that you can really latch onto in your time when you're in situations possibly where you might not be the most comfortable. I will say, even with my word plant, when I first started that process, I was not necessarily the most comfortable in terms of reaching out to folks, asking them if there's anything that I could do to help them. It was uncomfortable, might be a little bit too stern of a word, but at the same time, it was definitely not something that I was doing on a regular basis. But what I will tell you is that having spent the entire year of 2022 and now bleeding into 2023, having done all of that, the rewards that I'm getting back, the friendships that I'm making, the connections, the opportunities, they just keep coming back. They just keep flowing back to me. even producing this podcast comes from, or has come from, a connection that I've made through other folks, other ideas. I'm able to bounce ideas off of other people and get feedback. But I'm also, like I mentioned, I was in the process of giving first, which is where I would plant. So that's the exercise. This episode will be a little bit shorter than most, but the idea is I want to keep it super simple. What could be your word that resonates with you? What do you truly want? One thing that I wanted was to give more of myself, knowing that if I did that, I would then be able to receive more in the future. That's where I came up with my word plant. So think of your word. What do you want it to be moving forward? It can be anything, and you don't have to necessarily share it with anybody either. It can be just for you, and that is fine. But find that word, apply it every single day, and watch the beautiful things that will come out of that as you keep moving forward in your journey, working towards personal freedom, financial freedom, continuing your self-education, and becoming more every single day. So hopefully that message serves you today. Go out there, find your word, keep adding value to as many people as you possibly can, and just watch the greatness come. So until next episode, I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. And until then, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Rohn shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.